Good morning, students. Today we have lecture on acute diarrheal diseases. Learning objectives. At the end of this lecture, the student should able to describe the epidemiological determinants of acute diarrheal diseases. He should describe the clinical features including complications of acute diarrheal diseases, and he should able to discuss the preventive and control strategies. It can be defined as passage of loose liquid or watery stools. These watery stools are usually passed more than 3 times a day. Clinically, there are 4 types of acute diarrheal diseases. Mostly they are acute watery diarrhea, acute bloody diarrhea, persistent diarrhea, and diarrhea with severe malnutrition. Acute watery diarrhea. It lasts for hours to days. The main danger is dehydration. Weight loss also can be seen in this acute watery diarrhea. The pathogen that usually cause acute watery diarrhea is Vibrio cholera or E. coli or rotavirus. Acute bloody diarrhea. It lasts for 3 to 7 days, or it may last for more days. It is also called as dysentery. The main danger are damage to intestinal mucosa, sepsis, and malnutrition. In some cases, dehydration may also seen. It is marked by blood in stool. The most common cause of bloody diarrhea is Shigella. Persistent diarrhea, which lasts for 14 days or longer. The main danger in this persistent diarrhea is malnutrition and serious non-intestinal infections such as dehydration also can be seen. Persons with other illness such as AIDS are most likely to develop persistent diarrhea. Diarrhea with severe malnutrition. Marasmus and Kwashiorkor. The main danger are severe systemic infections, dehydration, heart failure, and vitamin and mineral deficiencies. Problem statement. Diarrhea is a major cause of morbidity worldwide. Approximately 4.6 million children used to die each year due to dehydration caused by diarrhea. Still, diarrhea is a major cause of death in under 5 years of age group. It kills more than 1,300 children under 5 age every day in 2016. Worldwide, globally, 1.7 billion episodes of diarrhea per year with 123 million clinical visits annually and 9 million hospitalization worldwide with loss of 62 million disability adjustment life years. In India, acute diarrheal diseases accounts for 10% of death in under 5 years of age group. In the year 2017, about 12.92 million cases with 1,331 deaths were reported in India. You should know few indicators regarding diarrhea. They are diarrhea preventive indicators, diarrhea treatment indicators, use of oral rehydration therapy. So we will see one by one. Percentage of diarrhea preventing indicators. Percentage of population using who have improved drinking water sources, then who have improved sanitation facilities, percentage of 1 year old immunization against measles, then percentage of children who are underweight, stunted, those who are exclusively on breastfeed, and still breastfeeding. Diarrheal treatment indicators. Percentage of children under 5 years with diarrhea receiving ORT with continuous feeding, ORS packet, recommended homemade fluids, increased fluid and continued feeding. Use of oral rehydration therapy. Gender, male and female, resident, urban and rural, and wealth index. Epidemiological determinants. They are agent factors, reservoir of infections, host factors, environmental factors, and mode of transmission. Agent factors of acute diarrheal diseases can be classified as virus, bacteria, and others. Viruses are rotavirus, astrovirus, adenovirus, calcivirus, coronavirus, norwalk virus, and enterovirus. Bacteria which causes acute diarrhea, they are Campylobacter jejuni, Escherichia coli, Shigella, Salmonella, Vibrio cholera, Vibrio parahemolyticus, and Bacillus cereus. Others: E. histolytica, Chirardia intestinalis, Trichuriasis, Cryptosporidium, and intestinal worms. Cryptosporidium is an coccidian parasite that causes diarrhea in infants and immunosuppressant patients. Diarrhea may be caused by parenteral infection. This includes ENT infections, respiratory, urinary infections, malaria, bacterial meningitis, and even simple teething also. Beside the above causes, malnutrition may lead to certain nutritional diseases such as kwashiorkor, celiac diseases, and pellagra, which are also associated with diarrhea. Persistent diarrhea is one of the main clinical signs of AIDS in tropics. An episode of diarrhea lasting more than 30 days, according to the WHO definition of AIDS in children. Reservoir of infection. Most transmission originates from human factors. For examples are enterotoxigenic E. coli, Shigella, Vibrio cholera, Giardia lamblia, and E. histolytica. For other enteric pathogens, animals are important reservoirs and transmission originates from both human and animal feces. Examples are Campylobacter jejuni, Salmonella, and Escherichia enterocolitis. Host factors. Diarrhea is the most common in children, especially those between 6 months and 2 years. Incidence is higher in the age group of 6 to 11 months when weaning occurs. It reflects the combined effect of declining levels of maternally acquired antibodies and the lack of active immunity in the infants. Diarrhea is more common in persons with malnutrition. Malnutrition leads to infection and infection to diarrhea, which is an well-known viscous circle. Poverty, then prematurity, immunodeficiency, lack of personal and domestic hygiene, incorrect feeding practices are also contributory factors. Environmental factors. In temperature climates, bacterial diarrhea occurs more frequently during the warm seasons, whereas viral diarrhea, particularly diarrhea caused by rotavirus, peaks during winter. In tropical areas, rotavirus diarrhea occurs throughout the year, increasing in frequency during the drier, cool months. Bacterial diarrheas are peak during the warmer season and rainy seasons. Mode of transmission. It could be exclusive by fecal-oral route. Fecal-oral route transmission may be waterborne or foodborne. It can be directly by fingers, fomites, dirt, which may be ingested by young children. Control of diarrheal diseases. Oral rehydration therapy was advocated by WHO and UNICEF. Components of diarrheal diseases control program are short term and long term. Short term, appropriate clinical management, and in long term, better maternal and child health, preventive strategies, and preventing diarrheal epidemics. Appropriate clinical management. Oral rehydration therapy, which was introduced by WHO. The main aim of oral fluid therapy is to prevent dehydration and reduce mortality. Oral fluid therapy was based on observation that glucose, when given orally, enhances the intestinal absorption of salt and water and is capable of correcting the electrolyte and water deficit. The first component of oral rehydration salt recommended by WHO was sodium bicarbonate. Based inclusion of trisodium citrate in place of sodium bicarbonate made the product more stable, which reduced in less number of stool. Now recently improved ORS formulation has been developed. It focused on reducing the osmolarity of ORS solution to avoid possible adverse effect of hypertonicity on net fluid absorption by reducing the concentration of glucose and sodium chloride in the solution. Decreasing the sodium concentration of ORS solution to 75 milliosmol per liter. Composition of reduced osmolarity ORS grams per liter. Sodium chloride 2.6 grams per liter, glucose 13.5, potassium chloride 1.5, trisodium citrate 2.9 grams per liter. In millimole per liter, sodium 75 millimole per liter, chloride 65, glucose 75, potassium 20 and citrate 10 millimole per liter. Assessment of dehydration. Patient appears thirsty, alert and restless in mild dehydration, whereas in severe dehydration he may be drowsy, limp, cold, sweaty or may be comatose. Radial pulse may be normal and volume in mild dehydration, whereas in severe dehydration it may be rapid, feeble, sometimes impalpable. Blood pressure in mild dehydration could be normal and in severe dehydration it may be less than 80 mm per Ag and may be unrecordable. Skin elasticity, pinch retracts immediately in mild dehydration, whereas in it retracts very slowly, that is more than 2 seconds in severe dehydration. The tongue appears to be moist in mild dehydration and in severe dehydration it is dry. Antennum frontalis could be normal in mild dehydration and very shrunken in severe. Urine flow may be normal in mild and little or none in severe dehydration. Percentage of body loss could be 4 to 5% in mild and 10% or more in severe. So estimated fluid deficient in mild dehydration could be 40 to 50 milliliter per kg and 100 to 110 milliliter per kg in severe dehydration. Guidelines for oral rehydration therapy. ORS solution should be calculated according to weight and age. The patient's age should only be used if weight is not known. The approximate amount of ORS required in ml may be calculated by multiplying the patient's weight expressed in kgs, that is by 75. If the World WHO mixture of salt is not available, a simple mixture containing of tables salt 5 grams and sugar 20 grams dissolved in 1 liter of drinking water may be safely used until the proper mixture is obtained. Intravenous rehydration. Ringer lactate solution, also called as Hartmann solution for injection, is the best commercially available solution. It supplies adequate concentration of sodium and potassium and the lactate yields bicarbonate for correction of acidosis. The other solution recommended by WHO is diarrhea treating solution, that is DTS. It is an ideal polyelectrolyte solution for intravenous infusion. It contains in 1 liter sodium chloride 4 grams, sodium acetate 6 grams, potassium chloride 1 gram and glucose 10 grams. Treatment plan for rehydration therapy in severe dehydrated patient. Again it is divided into, it has to be given in 100 ml per kg. Again it is divided into 30 and 70 ml. In infant, first 30 ml per kg is given in 1 hour and 70 ml per kg in 5 hours. And in older children, first 30 ml is given in 30 minutes and 70 ml per kg is given in 2.5 hours. Maintenance therapy depends upon amount of diarrhea, mild diarrhea and severe diarrhea. So what is mild diarrhea? Not more than 1 stool every 2 hours or longer, or less than 5 ml per kg per hour. And severe diarrhea, more than 1 stool every 2 hours or more than 5 ml of stool per kg per hour. So mild diarrhea, amount of oral fluid given 100 ml per kg body weight per day until diarrhea stops. And in severe diarrhea, amount of fluid replace stool losses volume for volume. If not measurable, give 10 to 15 milliliter per kg body weight per hour. Chemotherapy. Antibiotics are given only when the cause is known. In cholera, doxycycline, tetracycline, trimethoprim and sulfamethoxazole and erythromycin. And in Shigella, ciprofloxacin is given. The medicines that should not be used in treatment of diarrhea are as follows. Neomycin, it endangers the intestinal mucosa and can cause malabsorption. Purgatives, which worsens diarrhea and dehydration. Tincture of opium or atropine, which is dangerous for children and dysentery patients because of decreased intestinal transit time. Cardiotonics are not useful because shock in diarrhea must be corrected by IV fluids. Steroids, as they are expensive and useless. Oxygen, also not necessary and expensive. Charcoal, is of no value. Severe dehydration. The following signs are lethargic, unconscious, shrunken eyes, skin pinch goes back very slowly. Give first dose of intramuscular ampicillin and gentamicin. If infant also have low weight or another severe classification, refer urgently to the hospital with mother giving frequent sips of ORS on the way. Advise mother to continuous breastfeeding. Advise mother how to keep the young infant warm on the way to the hospital. In some dehydration, two of the following signs are seen: restlessness, irritable, shrunken eyes, skin pinch goes back slowly. If infant always if infant also have low weight or another severe classification, give first dose of intramuscular ampicillin and gentamicin. Refer urgently to hospital with mother giving frequent sips of ORS on the way. Advise mother to continuous breastfeed. Advise mother how to keep the young infant warm on the way to hospital. No dehydration. Not enough sign to classify and some are severe dehydration. Give fluids to treat diarrhea at home. Advise mother when to return immediately. Follow up in 5 days if improving. If not improving. Severe persistent diarrhea. Diarrhea lasting for 14 days or more. Give first dose of intramuscular ampicillin and gentamicin if the young infant has low weight, dehydration or another severe classification. Treat, treat to prevent low blood sugar. Advise how to keep infant warm on the way to hospital. Refer to hospital. Severe dysentery, blood in stool. Give first dose of intramuscular ampicillin and gentamicin. If the young infant has low weight, dehydration or another severe classification, treat to prevent low blood sugar. Advise to keep infant warm on the way to hospital. Refer to hospital. Zinc supplements. When a zinc supplement is given during an episode of acute diarrhea, it reduces the episode's duration and severity. In addition, zinc supplements given for 10 to 14 days lower the incidence of diarrhea in following 2 to 3 months. WHO and UNICEF therefore recommended daily 10 milligrams of zinc for infant under 6 months of age and 20 milligrams of dose for children older than 6 months or 10 to 14 days. Better MCH care practice. Maternal nutrition. Child nutrition, promotion of breastfeeding. Weaning should neither be too soon nor too late. In case not early than 6 months of life. Supplementary feeding. This is necessary to improve the nutritional status of children aged between 6 to 59 months. Preventive strategies: sanitation, health education, immunization, measles, rotavirus vaccine and fly control. Sanitation: we should improve water supply, improve excreta disposal and improve domestic and food hygiene. In health education, we should promote breastfeeding, improve weaning, clean drinking water, use plenty of water for hygiene, use of latrine, proper disposal of stool of young children. Immunization. With measles, it reduces 25% of diarrheal deaths in child under 5 years of age. Rotavirus vaccine. It is of two types, Rotatrix, Rotarix and Rotatec. Rotarix vaccine is administered orally in two doses, that is 2 and 4 months of age, and Rotatec is recommended in three doses, that is 2, 4 and 6 months. There is possibility of high risk of interception when the first dose of vaccine is given in infant aged less than 12 more than 12 weeks. Control and or prevention of diarrheal epidemics. This requires strengthening of epidemiological surveillance systems. The Integrated Global Action Plan for Prevention and Control of Pneumonia and Diarrhea. Reduce pneumonia and diarrhea morbidity and mortality. Protect children by establishing good health practice for birth, that is exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months, adequate complementary feeding, vitamin A supplements. Prevent children being ill from pneumonia and diarrhea. Hand washing with soap, safe drinking water and sanitation, vaccines, pertussis, measles, hib and rotavirus. Reduce household air pollution, HIV prevention, cotrimoxazole prophylaxis for HIV infection and exposed children. Treat children who are ill from pneumonia and diarrhea. Improve care seeking and referral. Care management at the health facility and community level. Supplies low osmolality ORS, zinc, antibiotics and oxygen. Continue feeding including breastfeeding. Diarrheal disease control program in India was started in 1978, and in 1985-86 oral rehydration therapy was introduced. Thank you.